Jungkook closed the door and walked inside the kitchen before going towards the refrigerator to get himself a bottle of water when his eyes fell on you. Resting your head on the kitchen island, you were sleeping while the notebook was under your head. You slept while studying, and it was only 30 minutes since he told you to prepare for the exam, which is tomorrow. He sighed and walked near you. She can stay awake watching her phone all night, but if asked to study, there is no one who can defeat her in sleeping. He slowly removed the notebook. He checked the pages, and you only scribbled in there and solved two questions that were also incomplete. He sighed and looked at your sleeping figure. Is she really serious about tomorrow's exam? Don't know why she has started to neglect her studies these days. He closed the notebook and put it on the island. Then he picked you up and walked towards your bedroom. I hope tomorrow's exam get cancelled. Maybe a flood will come or a storm. He looked at you speechless while you were still in his arms. He first made you lay on the bed and pulled a blanket over you. What does she think? She's in middle school? You were blabbering all that stuff in your sleep, making him surprised. Although he is aware of your sleep talking, but sometimes you really make him speechless. He turned off the lights before laying beside you. I hope you can at least pass the exam. Good night. No, how the hell did I sleep? I didn't study anything. Jungkook sighed and started to pour the eggs in the pan while hearing your screams coming out from the room. After getting ready, you came in the kitchen. Why didn't you wake me up? You put me in bed instead. Jungkook lifted up his head before looking at you. As if you'd wake up. I told you to study, but you are determined not to listen to me these days. You grabbed your hair and sat on the chair. I'm gone for sure now. Jungkook came near you and gave you your breakfast. That's what happens when you don't listen to others. You look at him. Still, I won't fail. I'm not that stupid, okay? Let's see. And if you fail this test, your punishment is that you won't get to eat your favorite junk to eat that you live for. Your jaw dropped. Yeah, why include that? Because that's the only way I can stop you to show all that junk inside your mouth. You gave him a disgusting look and bite on the omelette. You were walking towards your classroom while the bundle of notes held in front of your face. You were so in cramming everything that you have collided with two fellows so far. Whoa, seems like you're going to top today's exam, huh? You lowered the pages and found your guy best friend standing in front of you. You sighed. Even if I pass, it would be a huge thing for me. He frowned and came near you. Why so dull? Are you scared of today's exam? You sighed and nodded, something like that. And the worst part is that I was sleeping peacefully instead of studying, and now I know nothing. He looked at you unbelievably. You want me to believe that? You don't believe me? You questioned him back, making him chuckle. Of course not. You are telling me that you don't study at all and then expect me to believe you. I know your performance was a bit down earlier, but I don't think you cannot pass an exam. I'm wondering how many people still have faith in me and I'm going to break all of them. You said to yourself and made a crying face. Yeah, what happened to you? You shook your head. Nothing. Let's go to the class. So, good luck for the test. You guys have a good 3 hours to finish the test. Make sure to attempt all the questions, and if you don't, at least try. Are you all ready? He said, looking at everyone, and also noticed you. You already looked so tensed and worried. In fact, he also started to feel a little bad for you. Your eyes met, but you lowered them because you know what's going to happen. The test paper was already out of your understanding. You guys can start and no cheating. If I caught anyone, that individual will fail, so be careful. Suddenly, the atmosphere got more tensed up. You looked around and everyone started to try their best. You looked at the question paper and except a few questions that won't even help you score passing marks, you know nothing. Jungkook's eagle eyes were inspecting each and every student. You were trying to hide your panic state because right now you were only thinking about the punishment after this. You started to think about the consequences and started to imagine your life after that. No ice creams and cakes, no chocolates and candies. My favorite chips and soda. No, I can't stay without them. Kim Wyan, is something wrong with you? You came out of your thoughts and realized you were making those expressions for real and Jungkook already caught you. You felt so embarrassed and lowered your head. Nothing, I'm sorry. And you started to try your best. Your mind finally started to work even in such stress. You won't get extra time, so make sure you finish the whole test on time, everyone. Finally, the test was over, and although you tried your best, still it won't feel enough, and now you were scared as hell. Wow, today's test was really difficult. I mean, it would be easy if I listened to the lectures well, but I think I will pass. He looked at you who was shoving down burger as if you won't get to eat for years. Hey, slow down, you might choke. Let me eat, because after this maybe I will never even get to see them. He raised his brow in confusion. What are you saying? Why wouldn't you get to see them? You looked at him swallowing the bread inside your mouth. You don't know my struggles. My test was the worst and I know the result already. So what's the connection with the food? He was extremely puzzled. You won't understand. Fine, your words are out of my understanding. Okay, leave it. Let's go to the club tonight. We deserve to free our minds. I'm sorry, but I can't go. I have to study. You can't tell him directly that your husband, who is no other than your professor, will never allow you to go to the club, and especially with a guy. The test is over, and why are you feeling so bad for a test? It wasn't that important. You shook your head. I'm sorry, but I can't go with you. He looked at you for some time but then nodded. Okay, as you wish. Jungkook was passing through the cafeteria when his eyes fell on you sitting with Jack. Jack is your school friend and you guys are still together, but you only see him as a friend and nothing more than that. But sometimes Jack's action shows that he is interested in you more than a friend, and Jungkook seems to notice that. Although he never tell you to break up your friendship with him, but he indirectly tell you to be careful. It's true that no husband would want his wife to be around with a guy friend, but he doesn't want to make you feel controlled, and that's why he never stop you as far as it's safe for you. He wants to let you enjoy your college life because you got married in a young age doesn't mean all your freedom would be taken away. Still, he doesn't like your closeness with Jack and always make sure none of you cross the boundaries of a simple friendship. As he was planning to go to you but got called by a fellow professor, he sighed and walked away. He must be checking the test papers. I don't know why he's so dedicated to his work and can't even wait for at least a day to check all the answer sheets. Did you say anything? You looked at him and shook your head. Nothing. I said nothing. You came back home. This time you stayed outside late because you don't want to come home and show him your face, but when you got his calls and texts, you got scared and doesn't want to make the situation worse, so you came back. As you came into the living room, you found Jungkook standing while crossing his arms. He looked mad and one more thing was that you actually failed the exam. The question that you thought you did right, they were all wrong. Jungkook was disappointed because it was a subject that you failed in. Where were you and why it was so hard for you to answer my phone, huh? You lowered your eyes. I'm sorry, I just off with my friends. He poked his inner cheek and came near you while you got a little scared. What's wrong with you these days and why don't you just share it with me if you have any problems? You remained silent, fidgeting with your fingers while looking down. He sighed because he doesn't want to make you feel bad, but at the same time he was not happy with your behavior and performance. Did you see your performance in today's exam? I was confident that you would at least pass the exam easily, but guess what? You are not properly paying attention in class as well. I'm sorry, I know I messed up. Tears formed in your eyes because you yourself were so surprised and disappointed by your performance. If you have any difficulty or problem, then tell me. I'm here to listen to you. Even give a solution if I can. Fine, I'm not only a professor but a husband too. If you find it difficult to talk to me as a professor, then talk to me as a husband. He was trying to be gentle with his words because right now he knew you were feeling down. You wiped your eyes and looked at him. Can you give me a chance for this time? I promise you that I will not disappoint you in the next test. He nodded. Sure, you admit your mistake and are ready to work hard. I'm here for you. Now go and get refreshed. Dinner is ready. You couldn't believe that he didn't scold you, neither insulted you like how you imagined. And that's why you felt so bad because this man is so mature and perfect that he knows how to balance his personal and professional life. You were going towards your room when you stopped and turned towards him. Will I still get punishment and you won't let me eat my favorite things? He passed you a smile, making you sigh because you know the answer. Fine, I think I deserve it. You said to yourself and went inside your room. Now multiply these two and you will get the answer. He was watching you while you were attempting to solve the question paper once again. This is where I messed it up and my answer got wrong. Yes, if only you would have paid a little bit of attention during class. It's not like I don't do, I just forgot. You said while solving the answers. You were again solving the paper after practicing for a while and Jungkook was helping you. It was almost midnight and 3 hours since you sat down to study, but you were determined to solve it, otherwise you won't get any sleep. Now you solve this and if you have any doubt, just ask me. He walked to his desk before preparing for the next lecture in the class. He is very serious about his profession and always does his best. He sat at his desk and started to do his work while also keeping an eye on you. He smiled when he saw you, how serious you were this time. He made a deal with you that if you solve the question paper now, he won't stop you from eating your favorite food, but still you have to put a limit on them. You agreed because it's better than not eating at all. You yawned and stretched your arms after solving a good amount of questions. This was the first time you sat like this for hours and actually focused on studies. After some time, you finally completed the whole test and walked near him. Before extending your notebook towards him, he lifted up his face and looked at you. Done? You nodded while he took the notebook from your hands. Did you attempt all the questions? Yes, you can check if you have doubts. He smiled without looking at you. You were so nervous while he was checking your answers. Impressive. So far all the answers are correct, but your presentation went down. Excuse that, I'll work on that. As you say. He again started to check and only a few questions were wrong. Other than that, he himself was quite impressed with your performance. See, you understood all the concept and solved the whole question paper in just a few hours. And if you would have paid attention in the class, you must have topped. Are all the answers correct? You said getting surprised. Almost, and that's a lot of improvement in just a few hours. Imagine what you can do if you study seriously. He said, giving you your notebook. I will definitely listen to you from now on. Thanks. He smiled. Come here. He said, patting his lap, and spread his arms, and like a child you pouted and sat on his lap before hugging him. He smiled and patted your back because he knew you like it. I'm sorry for scolding you in the class. I felt bad for my performance. I didn't want to bring you down. I just procrastinated a lot and ignored my studies. That was true, but now you understood, right? Yes, now you won't get a chance to disappoint in me. You said, breaking the hug while he pecked on your lips. Thank you. Now, how about going to sleep? It's late. You hugged him and closed your eyes. I want to stay like this for some time. By the way, I can eat that cake in the fridge, right? You got no reply, so you broke the hug and looked at him. Why aren't you saying anything? He poked his inner cheek and looked away. What's wrong? Did you eat that? You failed your test. It was going to waste, so I thought I would finish it. How can you eat that? You know that was my favorite pastry and you always talk about eating healthy and then eat my pastry, huh? I'll bake for you and it will be more tasty. I didn't even like it that much. Then why did you eat the whole thing? It was your punishment to not listen to me. He smiled while you hit his shoulder gently and hugged him. This is cheating. Okay, don't be mad. I'll buy you another one. Now let's go and sleep.